Hi everybody, this is our second video where I'm going to show you guys how to actually start to turn our piece. Couple safety reminders: make sure you have nothing dangling, make sure hair is all pulled back, safety glasses are on. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn this on and I'll just show you how I'm going to start to form, and I'll kind of talk my way through it. So again, we want to start in a slower speed. Legs shoulder width apart, one in front of the other. Then you're just simply going to use the tip. Now, if it ends up stopping on you like that, you might need to turn the speed up just a little bit more. All right, that. Or the other reason could be that you don't have it tight enough, but mine I know is tight enough, so. Now I'm going to turn this off, and I have quite a bit of a gap in here now. My pieces are still not round, but I do want to move my tool rest so I don't end up getting stuck, getting pulled underneath there. So I'm just simply going to loosen this up, bring it a little bit closer, lock it on down. So again, make sure everything is nice and tight. There we go. And continue to make it into a nice circle. Now, if you end up having a lot of sawdust on your bit, don't knock it on anything. Just simply take it off, twist it. All right. I noticed as I was doing this, my tailstock came loose. All right, I'm just simply going to push it back on there, tighten it up again, make sure everything is on there nice and tight. Lock it back into place. The vibration of this sometimes ends up doing that if you don't have it snug enough. A little bit more. All right, so I'm going to take a look at this, and I notice that I do have it all round on both parts. So I can go ahead and I can put my rougher away for right now, and I'm going to grab what I call the finisher. This is the rounded one. This is where we're going to make sure that we can kind of turn, we can create grooves. You need to figure out which way you want your pen to be facing. So an example would be when I do these, I like to always say that the tip of my pen is facing right here towards my headstock, all right? And I want to make sure that I get this really close down to that little brass part, but I don't want to be able to see that brass part. All righty, so I'm going to go ahead, turn it back on. Now, once you are using the finisher, you want to make sure again that you're getting it down so right in between those bushings, it's going to come right close to it but not exactly touch it. And we will be taking a lot more off once we have the sanding going. All right, so I'm just going to come in here, and this is where I'm going to start to shape it. I get it down close, and if I want to have that little nice point, and kind of make a little indent there, and then I can start to shape the way that I want my pen to look. And there, just going back and forth to get it to the shape I want. All right, so that's going to be the front of the tip of my pen right here. That is, I'm going to be able to take a lot more off once I sand it. Now I want to get the back part. Okay, so this is about the rough shape of the size that I want to have for my pen. Now the one nice thing is I need to do a whole bunch of sanding yet. And when I do the sanding, on the back, the ones that I have here, they are color coded and the color chart is on the wall. So I'm going to go through each one. and sand. As I do that, I need to move the tool rest away. So I'm just simply going to lift this up, bring it out of my way so I don't get my hand caught on there. And then with our sandpaper, I simply turn it on. One hand over the other, make sure you have nothing dangling. I have a watch, it's secure on here. There's nothing dangling like a bracelet. So I just simply take this and I'm gonna bring it back and forth. This is gonna get all of our nice scratches and everything out of there. It's gonna start to smooth it. All right, you can put your fingers behind there for a little bit of pressure. Now, you'll notice that the grain of the wood is going this way, yet I was sanding as it was rotating. So there are going to be some little pores inside of here that we need to smooth out. So after every single time that you sand, you'll need to take that sandpaper and you're going to have to just touch it up going back and forth to smooth out any of those little marks that it may have made with you sanding against the grain. So I'm going to start out with an 80 grit, then I'm going to go to a 150 grit. After the 150, I go to a 220, then I go to a 300, and then I go to a 400. So I'm going to go through all of these steps. I get it nice and smooth. So we just turn it on. And when you're sanding, you're going to want to crank the speed up a little bit more. All right? And you can see after each one, it makes it smoother. And as you're doing this, you're able to shape it a little bit more if you would like. And I'm simply just one hand over top of the other, watching where I'm at, kind of going back and forth on it, smoothing all those little grooves out that maybe I don't want to see in there anymore. Might have to apply some pressure in certain areas. All right. I just simply take the sandpaper to clean it off a little bit and hit it against the side. And then again, I'm going to go back and forth with it. Smooth it out. And I will continue with the rest of mine. I'll pause this video right now and then pick back up in a moment. All right, so I'm on my last one. I'm on my 400. As I'm turning this, you're going to notice that it actually even starts to get shinier as you're doing this. So this means it's exactly the way that I want my pen to look. Like so. Turn it off, touch it up one last time. Going with the grain, so I have no scrapes or anything like that on there. At this point, make sure you have the instructor come over and take a look at it. So if there are any scratches or something like that, we can help you figure that out. One last thing I can do before I start to seal it up is if I wanted to make anything decorative, okay? This is my detailer, all right? And so if I wanted to put some grooves inside of here, I definitely could. But that means I'll have to bring my tool rest back, lock it into place. And when I do this, you can just eyeball it if you want to, or you can take a pencil and you can mark exactly where you would like to make some indents and grooves. So I'm simply going to turn it back on, hold my detailer, and I'm just going to indent a couple little grooves on here just to give it a little more appearance. Like that. And then I'll put 3 over here. 1. So it just adds a little bit. Now, it looks like it was even, but you always want to turn it off and double check to make sure. And then again, I come back over it one last time with that 400 grit sandpaper. Oops, stuff stuck inside of there. There we go, get it up to the side. Come back with the 400 grit and just smooth those areas out real quick so I don't have any rough edges. Turn it off. With the green one last time. Now I am going to apply my finish on here. When I do this, I just made a little concoction. I have, it's just of some boiled linseed oil and a little bit of polyurethane. All right. And what I do is I grab an old t-shirt that I cut up into tiny little pieces. You want to have a cloth for this one. You don't want to have anything that's going to have any grit and cause scratches inside of there. So I'm simply just going to take this, shake it up, open it. I shouldn't have said polyurethane, I meant shellac. All right, gonna place some on my rag. Just need a little bit. Got a little bit on there. And by hand, I'm just gonna turn it, making sure I get in all those little cracks and grooves and everything like that. And then to help polish it up, I'll actually turn it on. And again, you need to be very careful with this as you have it moving. Then you just simply pull it forward and it really shines it up. Now you're gonna wanna do 3 coats of this, but in between each coat you wanna let it dry for about 5 or so minutes. And just simply polishing everything up. So again, it was a boiled linseed oil and a shellac mixed together 50-50. All right. Turn it off, let it sit for a few moments. Do it again. I want to repeat that 3 times. All right. Once it's dry, then we can start to assemble it together. So that'll be the next video, is assembling it.